Hello, and welcome back to another War Thunder video, where today's video is going to be about the Sonderkraftfahrzeug 234-1, which is a German rank 1 gift light tank at a battle rating of 1.7, and I'm just going to call it the Puma 1. So the Puma 1 is a very interesting little German armored car, since it has a 20mm cannon with a 10-round magazine on a Puma hull, which allows it to go very quickly. The mobility on this tank is 89 kilometers per hour forward max speed and 89 backwards as well. So it goes at a very good speed, and it has a horsepower to ton ratio of 18.26. So it gets to those speeds quite quickly if it is on favorable terrain. So this 20mm KWK 36 cannon that it has 70 degrees of gun elevation and -4 degrees of gun depression. The -4 degrees of gun depression is not a lot, so you're going to see me having some problems with it. It has a turret rotation speed of 13.2 degrees per second and a 6.9 second reload with an expert crew. So in this replay I did not have an expert crew at the time, so I'm going to lack some performance with the tank, but this was one of my first rounds in the tank. So the armored car also has some pretty good armor as well. The frontal hull has 30mm at about 40 to 45 degree angle, so that gives it about 40mm of armor. The side has 8mm and the back has 10mm. The turret has 30mm at about 40 to 45 degree angle, which gives it about 40mm as well. So you could see that the front is pretty well protected, but the side of the turret only has 8 and the back has only 8 as well. So it's only the front that can be protected. It protects the tank pretty well against battle rating 1.0 tanks. So I spot this M3 and this M3 Stuart and this little Swedish tank, and they're going to start shooting at me. You can see the M3 shoots me and he bounces off of my frontal hull. I angled the tank a little bit at the hull, and it's at a slightly longer range. But this gun also has some problems at longer ranges as well. Ammo wise, you should use the PZ-GR40 rounds, which have 63mm of penetration at 100 meters. The other rounds, the other round choices that you could have, they're better for anti-air and they have much less penetration. So you should always use these rounds since they have the highest penetration, and unless you're using it as an anti-air, you shouldn't use the other rounds. So I start to get shot by this British tank, so I'm going to fire some rounds, try to spot him out. And I finally find him, and I start to shoot towards him. That looked like a cruiser, actually. And I put a couple of rounds into him, crippling his turret crew, and now I'm just going to put a couple more, and I finally knock him out. So there's another kill for me. And this little Swedish tank overexposes himself. That was a STRV M38, so I quickly take him down as well. This tank, it'd be a little bit more balanced at 2.0, but any higher would completely ruin the tank because its penetration would not be enough at 2.3 or higher, so you would have a really hard time. Sometimes people use the Puma for battle ratings at 5.7 for scouting. I think the Puma 2 would probably still be better because it has higher penetration, even though this tank has more of a flatter turret, I'd still probably rather use the Puma 2 for higher battle rating scouting. But you could use this as more of a reserve for the second Puma if that one dies while you're trying to scout. So you could see I'm getting a lot of kills and kill assists. And you could see I bounced another round from the Swedish tank. So the armor holds up quite well. So you could see I catch this Stuart off guard and I put some rounds into him. This mid-hill is a very good position since you are able to support your team very well, and the enemies, they sometimes have a hard time shooting you since you have all of those rocks. So one problem with using this position in this tank is you can see how low I have to go down the hill in order to depress my gun. This really exposes the tank, and I find this A13, and I tried to get more of his turret crew, but I was unable to penetrate, so I light him on fire, and I'm starting to get shot, so I quickly take him out, and I get back into cover. So the gun depression's one of the biggest problems with this tank. So I reload a new magazine. I usually use a full magazine per tank, and I carry about 20 magazines in this tank. But each magazine has 10 rounds in it, so you usually can kill your enemies before you use all of the ammo in the magazine. So the enemy team is starting to cap the C cap, so I'm trying to support my team as much as possible. And I tried to go after this Swedish tank. I quickly dodged his round, but now I have to go so low that the artillery hull breaks me, so yeah. And the Swedish tank gets away with his capping. So now the C cap is captured by the enemy, and I'm going to support my team with my Stuka. I really like this Stuka because it has a 100-pound bomb at a lower battle rating, so it's a very good bomb, and it is able to support your team very well with it, and the enemies, they usually die once you drop it on them, so pretty much whenever you drop the bomb, you kill the enemy. And it's a very powerful bomb as well. So you could see I'm getting kill assists from the Puma 1. And now I'm just trying to find some enemies to shoot and bomb. So I spot a tank. I think about going after him, but then I change my mind. I'm probably going to find something else that's better and easier. And I spot this anti-air. So I think about going after him. And I spot these enemy aircraft, so I'm going to have to watch out for them. So I quickly turn around. And now I'm going to go after this anti-air. So he seems to be quite inaccurate, so I start to get shot in the back by enemy aircraft. So I quickly drop the bomb, and here is quite an interesting moment. The bomb explodes, and it kills the JAA as well as the anti-air. So I get an aircraft kill, and you can see the JAA spinning around back there, since the bomb completely destroyed him. I also damaged myself a little bit in the process, but I get a water leak, but it's not going to be too bad since I'm going to get to base in time. So I see this enemy aircraft. I'm going to have to watch out for them because they can easily kill me now. And I'm just going to try to quickly put some rounds into them. They turn and I stall out too much, so I'm going to have to abort that. So now I have to watch out because they can come after me, but they decide not to. They probably should have came after me because I'm I'm a very easy target to get now, but they decide not to. So now I'm just going to quickly get back to base, restock and refuel, and I'm going to go after another enemy. So now I got my bomb back and my leak is sealed, so now I'm going to go after maybe one more kill. But the round's about to end, so there's a somewhat low chance that I'll get one. But you see, I'll probably get one. So the P-26A that I wanted to kill dies, and I'm just going to bomb this little Swedish tank that was capping our sea cap. So I drop a bomb, and that's a kill. So if you enjoyed, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.